be back with another episode, Perry Necessary, doing the latest and greatest of the Oval. And what's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook and TikTok? And what's up, Sir Daryl?
What's up? We're back with the best show about Tyler Perry shows that is on social media. Perry
Yes,
freaking necessary.
very necessary.
Yeah. How you been?
Same old. Making it by and by and by and by and by. But I'm excited to be back. We're gonna be a little more consistent with Sundays doing our shows. I don't know. To me, it's just like so many. I don't know. It's like so many shows are out right now. It's just hard for me to keep up. know, it's hard
What
for
are
me
you
to keep
watching
up.
right now? What's your regimen? You watching everything?
Well, yeah, but I got other stuff that came out too. Cause I started watching a show called Spartacus. But I'm caught up on Sisters, Oval. Uh, what else? There's other few. Oh, well, it's the show I watch now called uh this is by Stephen King's. It's it. Remember the series It from back in the day with the
Yeah.
clown,
About ET,
and
right?
now he
It
no
wasn't it
sir,
it wasn't about something from another planet.
no E.T.
What's
Oh
the
my
premise of
god.
it?
Oh my God. Okay, so almost like think about like the concept is almost like a Nightmare on Elm Street, like Freddy, but you don't have to be asleep. And it's this town, this mysterious town where the children they get murdered by this clown, but the adults
Ooh.
don't see him. Yeah, and now they kind of redid it, but it's like a prequel, and they show the town, the mysterious town of Derry, where it's this mysterious entity, but he just manifests himself as a clown, but
Hmm.
he can be anything, um, and it's very interesting, So it's like they kind of tied in the government, like the government was doing some kind of experiments, and that's why this entity kind of uh, is in this mysterious town of Derry, and there's like racism now in there because it's back in the like 50s and 60s or something like that. So there's racism and this mysterious clown killing children. So it's very interesting. Yeah,
You
I can't
know,
believe
I
you've never
find that
seen it.
yeah, I thought that I had, but no, I haven't. Um, it's so funny though that you would when you said Stephen King, because I remember a long time ago, and we are talking about Perry Necessary and Tyler Perry things. There was this conversation that happened on some site where no, it was a Facebook group. It wasn't ours, but it was
Hmm.
they were comparing Tyler Perry's writing with Stephen King and Steven Spielberg, and like they were
Oh
basically
wow.
saying like you got the three giants. And I just had to, I had to, first, I wanted to make sure that the person was being serious. I didn't know whether or not I was, they were making this elaborate joke and I just didn't get it. Then I
Hmm.
realized that they were not kidding. They were being completely serious and they were offended by my even asking that question. And that's when I knew I had to bail. So
And this
we
was like a
are,
group
but
you in.
we can enjoy both things. I can enjoy Steven Spielberg's writing. I can enjoy Stephen King's writing, and I can also also on top of that enjoy Tyler Perry's writing. It shows how versatile I
Yeah, absolutely.
am.
Like
Yeah,
people watch all kind of stuff. They just don't talk about it. Like get
yeah.
out of here. Mhm.
Now, how many people though, die-hard Stephen King fans, do you think are watching Tyler Perry shows?
I would say several. I mean, you like if you're talking about somebody up there in age, like like us back in the day, there wasn't a lot of options as far as content, so you were forced to know these names. You were forced to know a Stephen King. You were forced to know, like nowadays it's a lot of options. So
Yeah.
you don't have to watch Tyler Perry if you don't want to, but I just happen to like it. But you're gonna know those core people from back in the day, you know.
See, I'm looking at it from the other standpoint. I can see people who like Tyler Perry shows watching those shows. But in my brain, people who are diehard Stephen King fans, Spielberg fans, they would try to watch a Tyler Perry show or a Tyler Perry movie and wouldn't be able to finish it. That's the way my brain says. Like the reverse
Yeah,
couldn't really be.
I mean, that's you are right, but I think a lot of people who's been exposed to it already, you're already exposed to it, so you don't have to decide to give it a chance. You already know about it, so that's. But
Hey, real quick before we move on, did you go to that Tyler Perry party that they had the other night? Were you there? I saw pictures
I
and I
live
didn't
in
see you. I didn't see you at all.
well, I live in Florida, so no. So
I'm saying like it was a Christmas party. I mean, I thought you might have flew up to Atlanta for it. No.
well, why didn't you show some pictures so I could see? Because I didn't see
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you were not there then. Yeah. All right.
them.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of people who were at the party posting, and I know that. I don't know. I get the impression that if you went, you wouldn't even post. Like we would have to ask you about it, and you would say, "Oh yeah, I was there."
That's not true. I'll be just like you, the way you be posting when you with your famous friend. Posting, yeah, I'm getting at the awards and yeah, we're going on tour together, me and Jay Hud, and yeah, we going to I'll be just like you
That's how
posting.
you'd be. All right. We'll see.
Yes.
Well, good. That means I know about your life then.
Yeah, somewhat.
Anyway,
All right, so what's see Oval, the latest episode, season 6 we on, right?
I don't even know what season we're on. That's a good question.
I think we on season
I
6.
will say this season is good.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. It's so much good content.
Yep.
The side stories. Um, trying to think. I mean, of course, there's people that annoy me, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Of course, if I would have to call out somebody who's dead weight, it would have to be Dale. What is his real name? I don't know. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. The one that's in Tyler
Yeah. What is his name? Derek Dixon.
Dixon. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he's like dead weight to me. I'm ready for him to not be on the show because he
Well,
doesn't have any
I can
value.
guarantee you he ain't got much longer there. I'm assuming
Yeah.
that whatever happens to him this season, I was honestly really shocked that he was on there. I figured that the reason it took so long for the Oval to come back out was because Tyler ordered him cut out of like all of the scenes and they were just going to do some sort of workaround magic, but I was wrong. He's very much a part of this season, which means he's getting paid for these episodes. And I just assumed Tyler was going to try to be petty and not pay him. I would be petty if I were Tyler. That
Yeah.
I would spend extra money to not have to send money his way. Um, but he's definitely in there. But you're right, he is dead weight. I don't care about him. I don't, or and maybe that was done deliberately too. Maybe they somehow, maybe there were other scenes that he was in, or he had some other things that that they cut out. But they made
Hmm.
him the least important character. That I can't think of anybody less important than him. And at the end of this season, if he's gone, just ain't nobody gonna care.
Um, how you feel about Sharon? I
Sharon
cause
is the second least important, but she's definitely she's
yeah,
stronger than him. Like prior while he was on the show, Sharon was the least important character up until now. Like, if we go back 2 seasons, well, Sharon wasn't even there 2 seasons ago. Remember, Sharon just went missing for like a whole season.
yeah.
But Sharon would have been the deadest weight. And everything switched around where she came back. She's not blowing it out of the water by any stretch of the imagination, but Dale is just the least. So to answer your question about how I feel about Sharon, she's cool. She can stay. She can go back away. It almost seems like they're just not really doing anything with her character. Though they did have her
Yeah.
ass kidnapped, but even that I didn't care about. It all was over so fast.
Well, I was gonna say I used to Sharon was cool to me. Like I said, now she's a nothing because she just got back. But before she had a storyline. She was living with Nancy and Mr. Whatever.
And Barry.
Yeah, she was living with them. I don't know. Even when they weren't, even when the son got missing and she started talking to Kareem,
Mm-hmm.
she was still kind of interesting, you
Yeah,
know.
she was interesting
Now
then.
it's
Yeah. I agree.
but now I can do without her.
She's
Like
pissing
whatever.
me off this season because She's just acting like a ditz. So, all right, as much as I'm saying that Dale is insignificant, some of the things that she's doing is also ridiculous. So she's telling Dale, "You got to come with me to Kareem's house. We have to find this money." That's absurd. That's ridiculous based off of everything that they know about, everything that's gone on, the fact that somebody done snatched her ass already. You let me know that, you and me ain't going no place. But he still goes. Some sort of way they find all this damn money and they're scooping it up and running out of there. He's not sure that this is the best idea, but he's still going down with it. They get back, they're counting this stuff out. She's dictating what's going to go where and who's going to get this, and money is going to go back. Dale is an idiot because he's just allowing her to master every aspect of the move where his life is on the line with everything that's being done. If I were Dale, I would be like, I don't give a damn what you say. I'm taking some of this money. I want you to just go. And if I were Dale, I would also go. Like, I would be hightailing it out of that town so damn fast. He's got enough money now where he could just, where are they at? They're in the DC area. Just start driving towards Kansas and set up a new life for yourself someplace.
Mm-hmm.
And leave that woman and her whatever that situation is, just leave it there. Once I got 2 states away, I would feel much more comfortable and relaxed that I probably will be okay.
Yeah, you make a lot of sense because I mean he has a brand new car, so you don't
Yep,
have to
so
worry
he's
about,
good there.
keep running. You don't have to worry about the head gasket blowing anytime soon. So
No,
you're right.
I ain't putting up
But
with
I just
Nancy's bullshit. I ain't putting up with Sharon's bullshit. I done already seen Nancy's husband murder somebody. So the fact that I'm just going to be just back in that house at all is crazy. Because I'm like, I would be having PTSD every time I walked in there. I just watched a murder take place. Oh, and the murderer just walked in the house. No, I ain't dealing with none of that. I don't know why he's dealing with this stuff. Tell me that. Why is
he
as
he's a
here I am
glutton.
saying he's not interested, but I done just made this whole segment about him.
Yeah, but he's interesting for the wrong reasons. He's a glutton for punishment. He's always been ditzy in the wrong place at the wrong time, mooching off of people. He's very annoying to me. And you're right. He should be gone. He
Yeah.
should have grabbed that cash and hit the road. Forget
Yes.
what Sharon has to say. I would have bought that. I would have watched that. Actually, I would have
Dude
been like,
is
you know
telling them
what?
get out of my apartment. He's got no reason to still be there now. None.
Yeah, and I don't understand like their dynamic. The guy kind of called him back. Well, what was his freaking name? The new chief of
Yeah,
staff,
the new chief of
Allen.
staff.
So Allen called him and was like, I just make sure you out my apartment. I don't want this BS. And I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that. He putting his foot down, but he goes, I've been really good to you, Dale. I'm like, okay, what are we talking about? Okay. He said, you're gonna need it again someday. And I'm like, what the for somebody that you want out of your freaking house that you really don't know, why do you care what happens to him?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I don't know. It was an odd conversation.
he's
I don't
very
know.
odd.
Yeah. Any other topics
Well,
that
he
popped
didn't.
up on the
Let's
show?
well let's look at his life for a second. He didn't kill somebody, ran over him.
Well,
Um,
that was a setup, if I'm not mistaken. Donald set that up some kind of way to where he hit someone. Uh, he hit someone, and Donald has it recorded that
mhm.
he hit someone, and Donald kind of covered it up to make it seem like he covered it up, which I guess he did. Um, but I don't know how Donald's going to use it now. Because he's in the bunker, locked up.
So this
Alan's.
new PR woman, I think that she's gonna in some way be tied to working with Eli and Veronica and Don. I think that she may not be saying it right now, but I think that in some way she's got some connections with them because they keep talking about she's been vetted. She's been vetted. She's been vetted. In other words, let's not look into her so
Well,
much. I think that
well,
we're
wait,
going to
wait. You
find
said
out that
you
she's
said
compromised.
but are you saying you said tied to Eli and Veronica? Because they're not on the
Not
same
not not
team.
not Eli and Veronica. I'm sorry, Veronica and what's the other president?
Hunter, Hunter.
Hunter, Veronica, and the old chief of staff.
Okay, so I mean, I guess that would make sense why she wanted to go chat with them
Yes.
without prying eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're right. Everything seems to be going smoothly right
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
and like Mr. Richards said, listen, I don't trust it. They are still in the bunker. They are still here, and I'm with Mr. Richard. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it can't be just smooth sailing. 'Cause Priscilla's just like everything's handled, everything's over.
Everything's
I
good. Yeah.
still don't know. I still don't know who Priscilla is. It's like I'm like who is she?
Are we ever going to get that information?
I don't know because it's like Mr. Richard knows, but Mr. Richard, he really just acts as a butler. He doesn't do anything else. He doesn't like make calls and
Right.
like how Priscilla,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know, he doesn't flex. He doesn't flex like how Priscilla does.
Yeah.
But Mr. Richard knows who she is, and I'm like, who the heck is she?
Yeah.
Who are they? I don't know.
So Lily, when all of this crap finally went down, Lily came out of character as though she's just been playing this character game the entire time. She was involved with bringing them down. So you're telling me that all this is where the storyline starts falling apart for me. It doesn't make any sense. You're telling me that all of this time when she's been quote unquote held hostage in there, she got shot. She did all of that for the mission. So Lily is another person we have to ask who is she, because clearly she's been working with the team as well. So whoever they are, Lily is too, because she,
No, no.
yeah,
Really? They
yes,
had, but I remember when Lily and Priscilla kind of not just met, but when they kind of had that agreement. I kind of saw when that happened, when they kind of was on the same page. So it wasn't like Lily was always down.
okay,
I mean, they had to have a conversation. Lily, Priscilla, they started talking, but it wasn't from the very beginning. No, and they still don't trust the second lady, Simone. They still don't really trust her, but she's down now. But I I don't recall anybody saying that Lily was down from the very beginning.
okay.
I don't
That's
remember
the
that.
that's the vibe I got. But you're right. You're right. I do remember now when they started talking to her. Okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah, that's a hell of an actress, but that wouldn't make any sense to be doing all that acting because she really loved Donald. She really loved her husband. I believe she did. So.
Yeah. What was
Mm.
up before we get into the clips? What was up with Hunter calling Veronica like baby and caring about her being stabbed, and like
Well,
what the
yeah,
hell is going on? Explain this to
yeah,
me.
that's in one of the clips that where he's like the voice of reason for some reason. I don't know. You know what I'm gonna chalk it up to. We've seen Hunter on drugs for so long, high, drunk. He's sober now. He's been locked up for quite some time. So this is him with a clear mind. So I just have to chalk it up as he's not on drugs now. So now he's thinking clearly. That's the only thing I can think of because I don't know. Is he working some kind of angle? I don't know. That wouldn't make sense to be calling her baby. But then on the same token, he was trying to kill her not too long ago, but he was
Yeah.
on drugs. He was on drugs.
Oh,
You
true.
know what I mean? He was high out of his mind, but now he has no access to drugs anymore. So the only thing I can think of it, he is sober now. He's sober.
Is
That's
there
the only
any
thing I can think of.
scenario where the reverse would happen, where Veronica would be trying to save his life?
No, because she doesn't do drugs. So that is this
Yeah,
is
she's just
her
always in her
naturally.
right mind. These are just the way she actually feels.
Yeah, yeah. She doesn't do drugs. I felt a little something for her when she was kind of dying, but I don't know if she was acting because she doesn't die. Um, she just was kind of weak. I don't
Mhm.
know, but I feel sad for anybody that's dying. So,
How are you feeling about the revelation or the at least saying, because who knows if it's a real revelation, that Gail was at the Rakadushi compound. That pisses me off because we've seen the compound from different angles, and Gail hasn't even been mentioned. Like,
well, you taking the word of Victoria, right?
I'm taking the word of Victoria, but she didn't know when she said that he had been there, and she seemed genuinely confused and shocked and asking, "Did you see her? Did you see her?"
Yeah, I don't know, but
I
I
mean, because
mean,
I've
I know Vic.
always assumed that that's where they sent her, but then that just went out of the window because I expected it to be shown. Like I expected her to either show up on Ruthless for a couple of minutes, or for us to at least see something when they went there on the Oval. And the reason why I thought that is because at one point Veronica told her son, "I'm going to send you where I sent your sister, but on the boys' side. You're going to be on the men's side." And so, you know, of course, this is the Oval, so my brain goes to, oh, Rakadushi compound, and that's what made me think we were going to see that, but we never did. And then they brought that out, and so it's just confusing to me. I wish they wouldn't do that, because this is what pisses me off about some of these situations, especially in the Tyler Perry universe. They have everything they need to work these angles. It's not like CBS talking about an ABC show, and they don't have any control over the writers or the director. They could weave these things and interweave them perfectly, and keep people captivated. Oh, look, they just showed up over there on Ruthless. Oh, look, they just showed up over there on the Oval. They could make these scenarios work, but they just choose not to. But they still talk
Mhm.
about it. It is the weirdest thing. Got this ecosystem, run it like an ecosystem. But anyway, you think we're gonna at this point, now that they've said it, do you ever expect to see Gail? First of all, do you ever expect to see her again?
I don't. I mean, she's been gone so long. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she looks completely different now. I mean, uh, I, uh, can we, she was just supposed to be written off the show, right? I mean, I don't know why we came up with this storyline. They should have just killed her off if they were just gonna bring her right back. Because we would have saw her at the compound by now, right? We would have saw her if she
That's
was
what
there.
I would say. That's what I would say. But then again, there were a lot of things that happened um, on the two that I was waiting for that didn't happen. So, yeah.
Don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So my final answer is I don't think we'll ever see Gail again. I don't think we'll see her again.
Um, all right. I think you might be right.
Yeah, she was too feisty. She had a slick mouth. I don't think she lasted more than a day.
Yeah, she didn't last long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. What else you got for us?
I got nothing. We should get to our clips, I guess.
Yep, some picture it clips, and these are just like random clips. Most of them are from the Oval, and I'm touching on sisters just a little bit, uh, and some other random topics that nobody cares about, but I like to just have topics of things that's going on in the world, which I really don't care about. I just like to talk about them just a little bit. We won't focus on it too much.
So I know we started with my favorite. This was the favorite moment this season for me.
Arrangements.
What funeral home?
Where Barry is.
I had her moved.
What? Moved where?
I'm not talking to you, you simple bitch.
Call me that bitch
Yes,
again.
That
yes,
that was hysterical to me. The moment he said "simple
yes.
bitch," I literally fell out.
Simple. It's very simple, Sardell. It's simple. You know. She's simple.
how do you feel about Nancy now? Do you feel any bit
No,
sorry for her?
no, I couldn't stand Nancy for the longest. Ever since her lips got loose when she was on the compound, and then yeah, on one side I was just like, yeah, they took her to the compound. I felt bad, but it doesn't make you lie. That when it just loosened her tongue, and we
Yep.
finally got to see. She
We
would have
found
took
out who
that
Nancy
story to her
was.
grave. She would have took that to her grave. She would have held on to that lie with a vice grip. Why do people do that? She would have held on to that lie with a vice grip. And don't lie to me like you wanted to tell me you was going to. And she's proud of it now too. That like the real person that she is very ugly versus the churchy person she tried to play and lie all this time. I'm churchy, my husband, I want to be with you. It was a lie.
Devout
You
Christian.
having sex, and for people who don't know, who don't for the replay, Nancy, Mr. Richard, he works for the White House, and she had sex with his father,
Yes.
a relationship,
Yes.
and their son Barry is not even the father's son. It's the father's father. I don't know,
Well,
but yeah,
no. Barry. Wait.
Barry.
Who's
I don't think Barry belongs to Mr. Richard. That's what I think. Barry don't. I don't think Barry. I don't think Mr. Richard is Barry's father.
okay? Well,
I
whose
think
father is the other brother that died in at the
the one
beginning?
we never saw, Picky, the one we never
Picky.
saw.
Yeah. Who's Picky's father?
You might be right. Okay, wait. Uh, Picky wasn't supposed to. Nancy is the mother of Picky, but she
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be, right?
Correct. Yes. She had him while he was away and sent him off.
Yeah. I don't know who the Mr. Rich's father is Picky's father, I
I
guess.
I was thinking that was Picky's father.
It wouldn't matter either way. She had a baby that wasn't his, so it wouldn't matter either way. Now, when it comes to Barry, I can't remember if that was Mr. Richards' actual son. When it comes to Barry,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But you feel no sympathy for her at all at this point.
No, my
Okay,
bad.
but
Yeah,
what
no,
about her going to jail for killing somebody that she just didn't do? Like, okay, she's a
so
horrible person, but do you feel do you feel bad that she's in that situation?
no,
No,
because
damn.
if the tables would turn, she would have no sympathy for me. Like she's a nasty person, and yeah, you're right. You're right. Mr. Richard took care of his father. He stabbed his father, but man, if there was any other time, listen, if there were a time to vindicate, this is the time. I'm sorry. This is the time. You made that man snap. I can't believe it. I don't justify
But you
murder
down?
at
Okay,
all,
but
but
that's meaning the murder itself you can deal with, but you're down with her going down for it. I mean, she did act an
yes,
ass
yes,
afterwards. I agree, but you're down for
yes.
her action. Like, let's say they didn't get her out and she had to go to prison. I mean, go to court and all of that. They manufactured evidence against her. You didn't feel bad for her in that?
No, would you feel bad if you were Mr. Richard and this went down and she was in jail and I came, I said, listen, Daryl, she's going to prison for the. What would your reaction be? Would
I
you
don't
shed a
know.
tear?
I don't. In that situation, probably not.
No, I'd be like, okay, well, all right, send her my love. I like, yeah, this isn't a normal circumstance. So I have no sympathy for Nancy. She's nasty. She's nasty. Even when she got out of jail, still being nasty. And Mr. Richard he's been gracious now. He's like, in lieu of what's going on, he's kind of being gracious. He came to the house, just let me get a few things and get my behind on out of here. I'm gonna stay with. She said, I burnt it all.
She did.
It ain't nothing left. Yeah,
And
we got a clip of that.
he's
Yeah.
flat broke because of her. She emptied out
And
the bank account, spent all the money, and bought Dale a car.
empty the account, and don't get me wrong, I'm mad. that's why I'm mad with Dale, but I'm also mad with Sharon too because Dale doesn't owe them anything. He doesn't know anybody. He's a leech. He grasps on the people and uses them up. But Sharon actually lived there. She dated their son. You would think Sharon, once Sharon found out, "Oh, that's where you got this girl from." Listen, Nancy's crazy. She's nuts right now. She's going at it with Mr. Richard. Don't take sides. Give that freaking car back so they have some money to bury their freaking child. And I feel Sharon should have said that, but she didn't. And that's why I'm writing Sharon off as trash, dead weight on the show because she's not saying these things. Now, money isn't an issue anymore. I'm pretty sure they're going to use some of that money to help bury
You talking about the money in
but
the trunk?
yeah, I think they're going to
No,
use some of
they
that
they
money.
are on their way back to put it all back in that closet.
No, they on their way back to run some errands for Nancy. That's what they're doing.
No,
They're
but I'm
running some
saying that
errands for Nancy.
the reason why they're running errands with Nancy is because that got in the way of them
No,
going to put the mission is to
right?
go put that money back in that
No,
closet.
I know what the mission was, but I'm saying now that they have this new information that is being brought out. Listen, I don't have any money to bury my son. I don't have to. So I would think that somebody would say, you know what, crap, they don't have money to bury their
Yeah, yeah,
son.
yeah, yeah. I got you.
I would think it would change. I know the plan was to take it back to Kareem's house, but I would think the plans would change just a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with you. I mean, that money ain't going back to Kareem's house. We know that. In fact, where we went left off at the end of the episode, Nancy she grabbed the keys and she went on upstairs to change. I expected Nancy to walk out there and just drive the car herself, and then we were like, crap, the the car is gone, the money is gone, and Nancy gonna find that money. When
Hmm.
Nancy sees that money, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what she's, but that's when it's gonna get crazy when Nancy sees that damn money.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your daddy thought I was worth it. Please don't say that.
All right. So do a little context for that clip. Mr. Richard was just like, she ain't worth it because Nancy had just said that she burned up all the clothes or something like that. And Mr. Richard was just like telling Sharon, like, she ain't worth it. So nasty Nancy says, your daddy thought I was worth it. Your daddy thought this was good. What a nasty behind person you are. And I always say, I'm all for people that want to go to church and pray, but those are some of the worst people. I'm just saying because they that is a vice. I'm not saying all people that's like heavy Bible thumpers, but people that lean into church like that, from my experience, are some of the worst people because they're like really bipolar. If something goes wrong, they will curse you out and say, "Well, I'm gonna pray for you." I never understood that. I never understood that.
And Nancy, in this particular situation, it's weird what she's doing because she just got out of jail. And when I say just got out, I'm talking about last week. She just got out within the last couple of hours. And
Hmm.
she's pissing off the people that made it possible for her to get out of jail. Let's forget about whether or not she should have been there in the first place. That's a side story. She was there. She realized she was defeated. She realized that they got her, and she admitted defeat and was like, I'm going to chill. I'm going to be cool. I'm not going to say anything. I think that it needs to be further than not saying anything. She is so got that she needs to be letting people know, okay, I'm just not even going to be your adversary no more. I'm not about to be your enemy. I realize that pissing you off is a really bad idea, so let me just chill. She's not taking that road at all,
Hmm.
and
I
she
agree.
definitely
I
should.
agree. I I think that's just she's her true personality is a person that really doesn't care. She doesn't even hide it anymore. She was really good at being a different person, and now this is her true personality who
Yeah,
doesn't give a darn,
yeah,
you know,
at all. But she
at
would
all.
if she got her ass right back there in that jail. Before she went to that jail, she was talking mad crap. She was saying stuff like, I don't care what happens. I can. Even before they booked her, she was making it seem like she'll do what she has to do. The moment her ass got in there, she couldn't handle it for an hour. Let me out of here. Let me out of here.
Hmm.
I can't do this. Get me out of here. She didn't forget that fast. What her life was
Just
like
that fast.
24 hours ago. What your life was like. You want to go back to that, Nancy? Shut up.
Right. She got off easy. She kept saying how they treated me. I'm like, girl, you done made like 3 or 4 calls, which is not
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
You know, like Jesus. I don't know. Nasty Nancy.
So you don't need to come back here.
Nancy, I had some personal things that I needed for work.
I know. And I burned all that shit up.
Mm.
Nasty Nancy. She burned it all up. His personal. And for people who don't know, Mr.
Burned it.
Richard, he was the sole provider. He was the James Evans. He was the only person working, and Nancy was the homemaker. But
Mm-hmm.
they're empty nesters. I mean, they don't have any small kids or any, they don't have any small kids anymore. So she didn't have to work. But of course, his money is her money.
Mm-hmm.
But she just disrespected him, used up the money, so no one could have it, which is disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Nancy
burned
is.
up his work items.
In other words, we're proving why you don't feel sorry for her ass at all.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. And I kept racking my mind. I'm like, why is she so angry? Who's she angry at? Is she angry because she went to jail? Is she angry because she got busted in a lie of having a baby by somebody else? Why is she so angry at Mr. Richard? I don't understand.
Um,
Hmm.
Will do. This computer does not leave this office. Okay? But, may I ask why not?
Okay, so a little background. That's Alan, the new chief of staff. He was just appointed by Eli, if I'm not mistaken. Just to fill in the position. I don't. Obviously he isn't ready for it, but Eli just gave it to him just to fill a position. Uh, that laptop was Donald's, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's obvious that he just wants to get into it, so to delete any evidence that Donald has that the murder that Alan did, that when Alan murdered someone, I'm guessing Alan thinks it's on that laptop, so that's why he wants to get it open and delete it. I'm guessing that's what's going on.
yeah, or just find out what all is there, and maybe he thinks that the extra evidence of how to delete everything might be there, or just he just doesn't know. In his mind, this is where all of the secrets might be, and I got access to it.
Yeah, but my thing is when he said all of the secrets, when he talks about Donald being dirty, he doesn't care about all the secrets. He cares about that one.
Well, right. That's what I
Let's
meant.
be
All
clear
of the
about
secrets
them.
related to him.
The other stuff will be a bonanza, but best believe he wants to delete that one file. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't think Donald has backup somewhere.
Mm,
So I wouldn't like,
yeah, in
find my
today's
eggs in
world,
one.
there is no scenario where everything just sits on one computer.
Yeah,
That's not a
one
thing in
flat.
2025.
I got it on this floppy disk right here. No, you got cloud and all that stuff. So maybe he just wants to have some leverage. Just I don't know. Maybe he wants some
Well,
leverage,
and
but
also there might be a whole lot of stuff on that computer against Donald that he could somehow then hold over Donald's head to say,
that's what I'm
you got
saying. So I had some
you got this
leverage.
one
Yeah.
thing against me. I got you know, the whole meal against you. I got everything.
Okay, but if I'm Donald, do I have anything to lose right now? I'm already in the bunker. I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
That bunker is not all that safe anyway. If you remember, Bobby and Max, they were able to get in and out of that bunker and just out of the White House. Remember, at a certain point, there were arrest warrants for them, and they were still able to sneak into the White House, into that bunker. Didn't they sneak somebody out of there? They did. They got the The son was down there. That's how they got his ass out of there. Somebody snuck him out of the
Yeah.
out of the prison.
Was it was it Sam? I know him and Sam was together for some reason for a while. Like Sam was smuggling the son around for a while one
Yeah.
season, but I can't remember what season it was. But I don't know.
So, how are you and Sam?
Oh, no, we're not talking about that.
I mean, you did sleep with Victoria.
Sir?
Nothing. I'm just sorry about you and Priscilla.
All right, so I guess this is a two-parter question. How do you feel about the new Eli knowing that he was playing possum all of this time? Because he is really a killer, a
Mm-hmm.
person with conviction. I mean, a killer personality. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. Uh, I want to know how you feel about that. And how did you feel about that comment he made about, he kind of asked about Priscilla and Sam, and she was like, at first she was like, we're not talking about that. And he was like, well, you can talk about me and my stuff. So she told him, and he said, I'm sorry to hear about that. Then after talking with Sam, he just kind of threw it in Sam's face. Sorry to hear about you and Priscilla. What do you think he's trying to get at?
I am completely confused because at the very beginning we thought that Eli was just a really nice guy. We thought he was the positive face of government, and him getting in the White House. Well, we didn't even see him getting in the White House really as being a realistic thing because he was so clean and nice. Apparently he's
Hmm.
cutthroat. I don't know what his long-term game is. I don't know. I'm really confused. There's a lot of stuff around him that is very confusing to me.
Well, how did you feel about the comment when he made to Priscilla and Sam? Is he still trying to talk to Priscilla? I know he doesn't like Sam for some reason. I don't know why. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait. He doesn't like who?
Well, it seems like he doesn't like Sam when he made that kind of sly comment. Is it because he's trying to get some of Priscilla? Because I kind of see his real personality. He's like a ladies' man. He's like he wanted to sleep with Priscilla, and she was like, no, you know.
Well, if you also think about it, who knows how he really feels about Victoria? They both have had sex with Victoria.
Well, listen, I can tell you right now, when everybody says that he just did it for work and not pleasure, I know he enjoyed that. Listen, I'm no fool. He enjoyed having sex with Victoria. Yeah, he had different motives, but he liked it. That's just my opinion. And what's her name? His wife, what is her name?
Simone.
Portia. Simone. She got to get over that. Just enjoy
Well,
the
that's what I
ride.
was about to ask you
Yeah.
about that. How the hell is she gonna get over that? I remember the scene where I know that she did have sex with Bobby, but I remember the scene where Priscilla and Lily were just like talking to her and saying, "Oh no, don't worry about that. That was just for work." I thought that was the most ridiculous and absurd conversation for two women to be telling another woman, "Oh no, don't worry about that. That was just work. You had to do it."
Oh, yeah, but they should have added on, yeah, and what you did with Bobby was just for pleasure because they both know that she already had sex with Bobby. They know
She's
she did it.
denying it though.
And
She's saying she didn't.
no, she's gonna take it to her grave, but some kind of way, what's her name? Those walls have eyes, and what's her name? Priscilla knows. I
Priscilla
mean,
just
we as
straight out no.
viewers
Well,
know.
they all know. They know. They like they. It's
That's
almost
what I'm
one of those.
saying.
Yeah, it's almost like one of those situations where they are letting her pretend to live in her fairy tale.
Yeah, and she's just holding on to this lie because that's why they weren't really trusting her in the beginning because she was just holding on to this lie. Like, girl, the only person that didn't sleep with her is Priscilla. I
Yeah.
mean, that didn't sleep with Bobby is Priscilla because she really was in love with
But
Sam,
but
I
I
guess.
well, I
But
don't know. What are you telling me? You telling me there was no scenario where Priscilla was gonna do it?
I know I'm saying she probably was, but she changed her mind, but she didn't do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Us as viewers know that Priscilla didn't have sex with Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand why people would think so, and she went and flirted with him, but she was kind of doing that to, I don't know, to mess with Sam, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, Simone, she needs to get off that. She already had sex with somebody else. So this all of this sacred marriage crap, that's out the door.
Well,
That's out the door.
wait, did we do this one already? Let me look.
So, how are you and Sam?
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did that.
I told you it was a good dialogue.
Wait,
Yes,
wait.
Hunter.
Let me see that again.
I told you it was a good dialogue.
Man, that's a. I remember watching an interview with Veronica or Cronmore, the actress, and she was saying that at a certain point she was on set. This was like during the first week, and she was going over lines, and at a certain point she just had to stop, and she just was started crying, and nobody understood why she was crying. She was just for real. She just could not
Hmm.
get in the character. She was saying she's just how could any mother hate their daughter that much? She was talking about Gail at that time. How could any
Hmm.
mother hate their daughter like that? And so she said she had to like step back from it and rethink everything and then get back in a character because it just hit her as she was reading. This woman truly does hate her own daughter. Um,
Hmm.
but it's gone to a whole different level. That was season one. I
Yeah.
think she the stuff that she did, the back and forth that she had with Gail is nothing like what goes on between her and Jason. Like it's like
Hmm.
they have both now tried to kill one another. She tried to kill Jason a previous time and thought she had. Like she thought
Yeah.
she had actually murdered her own son. She just can't stand him. And this time she wasn't. She physically tried to do it, and her son ain't no better because he's a serial killer of his own, and he tried to kill her. That is anyway, my point is what we're looking at here in that scene is a scenario of the very worst that can happen in a family dynamic. Well, I guess also you could say what happened with your girl Nancy's situation too. Her father-in-law ended up being dead. But anyway, you were gonna say about that scene, Hunter, the voice of reason.
Oh, oh no, just voice of reason how odd it is. But we already kind of touched on that topic. I think is he's clean and sober now, so this is his true personality. I didn't think that people changed that much from. Well, yeah, I know people change a lot being on drugs versus off drugs, but I think he's clean and sober. That's why maybe he has more compassion when he's clean and sober. I don't know. Because all of that baby stuff, when I didn't play that clip, but he was just like, I know it hurts, baby. Let me see. It was kind of odd. It was strange.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah,
It was very, very, very weird. I didn't know what to think of that.
yeah.
God, Sam. I forgot Sam tore that thing up. I forgot about that. Jesus. Sam, my heart is only for my wife. Victoria, I don't want your heart. Jesus. Oh my goodness.
Okay. That clip. That was a flashback scene because Sam did have sex with the first lady several times,
Yeah.
and for anybody that's saying like why Priscilla hates the first lady, several reasons. That's being the main reason because she had sex with her husband. But it's really Sam's
You
fault,
still don't give Sam any slack there. He was very backed up. That doesn't you don't care
I
about
no,
that?
I what no, I never gave Sam crap. It was I remember in the group back when Sam first cheated years ago in the group, there was a lot of the ladies in the group like, oh, Sam let me down. He was just the upstanding person, and it was dogging the first lady out. She's like, she looks like a horse. I'm so disappointed in Sam, and I was saying to myself, why do ladies give the guy so much grace? Like, yeah, because he's a handsome guy, but why you giving Sam grace? Like, in dogging the first lady who owes you nothing? You if you gonna dog somebody, you dog Sam because he's the one that's married to Priscilla
Yeah, he's the one who
and
did it.
cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if for whatever reason, yeah, she has her secrets. She stopped having sex with Sam for unknown reasons. I don't know why. She's never gonna say why, but I'm not gonna blame First Lady. Did she knock him down and rape him? No, he was quite the opposite. So yeah, I never understood why people in the group just rallied around Sam, saying they were just disappointed in him. But the first lady, she was trash. She's a horse. Like I'm like, get out of here. Sam is trash. It's Sam's fault. Sam's fault, and he tore that thing up.
He did. He was very much enjoying it. It's like he was trying his best not to give in, but he couldn't handle it no more. And he turned her ass around, bent her over, and rammed. Oh,
I don't know if you gonna light me up in a playback on this. All right.
that's just an image.
Yeah. So boom. Does Donald and Cal have a plan? I'm kind of over this scene of them being locked up in a bunker. I can only take so much because they don't have like with Hunter and First Lady and the son. They're bickering. They're like they have untold truths are coming out, and they have with Donald and Kyle. There's really no dialogue. They're just sitting there. Uh, Donald seems to have given up. He said he wants to relax. Kyle, he's I don't know. I don't know. I'm just over
I
this
think the
scene.
moment that Donald sees that woman, everything is going to change. He's going to be like,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
we
yeah.
I didn't have a plan necessarily, but the plan is coming together because now I've seen her.
So, do you feel some kind of way she's gonna be down with with uh with Hunter and Donald? So some kind of way she's gonna be tied into them. Some
I
kind of
do.
way.
I do. And I think that her seeing them is going to be, in essence, her letting them know, oh, I'm here. We're working this on the other end. Just hold tight. We're working this.
Okay.
We're working this from a different angle. Uh, but then again, Donald and Hunter are not even working together at this point. They're not friends. So maybe her connection is more to him. I suspect, now that I'm thinking this through, her connection is going to be to Donald, not Hunter. Hunter is an idiot. He don't really have no real connections. He doesn't
Yeah.
have any plans. It's gonna be Donald. Donald is gonna see her and he's gonna be like, okay, there is a plan now in motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Watch.
mean, and then Donald in return is gonna be like, I got somebody else on the outside. I got Alan. I got Alan under my thumb. I don't know if she's gonna relate that message to Alan that stay in line.
And
Yeah,
notice
so yeah,
she
you are
didn't. Well, let's go to this next one too because it kind of fits in. This next one is, do we trust Crystal?
okay.
When Crystal in this, I guess it was probably this scene. What was the scene between the two of them? She specifically said she didn't want Donald to take her downstairs to the bunker. She was looking around
Uh,
like she wanted to pick the person. Like you're in the White House. You don't
she
determine.
she
I
didn't
mean,
want
she didn't want
she
Sam.
didn't
Excuse
want
me.
Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't you don't walk into the White House and pick who you want. So she's picking the person that I want to take me downstairs. In my mind, she's picking the person that's the most vulnerable to not paying attention to what's actually going on when she's down there. And when
Hmm.
she gets down there, her conversation that she has with these people, that's what I'm going to be watching. Because it's going to be a conversation when she asks or receives something, there's going to be hidden messages being sent back and forth. And when she leaves back out of there and gets back in her car, because we've seen her in her car, when she leaves that time and gets back in her car, the phone call she makes, the text that she makes, whatever, that's how we're going to find out what's going on with her. I got it all figured out.
Okay, I agree. I agree. This is just a little fun. Sam, I am. It was a thumbnail that I made, and I really liked it. Um, this is more like a scenario or a fantasy. Do you ever see, or what scenario could you foresee Sam and the First Lady being together, and what does it look like to you? So Sam and the First Lady, I don't know, they leave the White House, or they just decide to date. What does that look like? And is the First Lady capable of dating someone?
I don't know if she is, but I would hope that Sam just would never fall for that because he's seen how evil of a human being she is. And I just can't imagine Sam even thinking that she's dateable. I don't think she's dateable. You know what? She's not dateable because she's so
Okay.
corrupt. The only thing she can think about is some sort of power. Yeah, I don't think Victoria is dateable.
Okay, so nothing past a romp, nothing past just a sexual encounter. Okay,
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And if it gets serious in any kind of way, it's all about that power. You know, like it's not about love at all. It's oh, you and I are compatible enough to take over the world, take over Washington, or take
Yeah,
over whatever power structure this is. And what the hell is going on with her father?
I don't
We
know.
haven't seen him in 7 seasons.
I have no idea. I don't know if he's still around or what.
Um,
I don't
what is this?
know. This is random. Okay, so boom. This is Tisha Campbell. People who don't know, she was on the iconic show Martin back in the day. My Wife and Kids with one of the Wayans brothers. So randomly, I was on TikTok or something like that, and I saw that she's doing stand-up comedy now, real stand-up comedy.
Really?
Now, yeah. So I'm going to ask you how you feel about this. Is this something you want to see? I'm
No.
going to share my thoughts. I'm going to share my thoughts, but first I'm just going to ask you: is this something you want to see?
Well, my first thought is no, confused, and I do like I'm as we're sitting here, I'm looking it up right now just to see if she's gonna be coming anywhere near me because at this point, after I was just about to say no, if she were to come near me, I think I'd go see her.
My problem, Sir Daryl, is okay. You have like funny people on TV, and that's very different from being a stand-up comic. Like
Mm,
Queen Latifah, she's a very funny,
correct.
be funny on TV and movies, but she is not a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tisha Campbell, I've seen her on TikTok. She likes to sing. For people who don't know, she likes to sing. And she was singing one time, and her voice, I don't know, it's kind of squeaky. I mean, she can't sing, but when she sings live, it's kind of like opera-ish, like
Mm-hmm.
opera or show tunish.
Mm-hmm.
And the people weren't responding to her singing, and she got so frustrated, she just walked off stage. So, how does that personality translate to a comedian where you have to have tough skin? You got people hecklers in the right in front of you, throwing you off to where you can't focus. She doesn't have the grit. She hasn't been at some small smoky club back in the day. She hasn't been on Comic View getting chewed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if she does get a venue, she's going to get a nice, easy venue to where it's people that's non-threatening, and I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that. She's going to get a nice, easy venue to work alongside somebody that's well established. A lot of people can do that. That is
And,
not a comic to me.
and she's also calling the damn Kingdom tour, which means she's not even making it about her name. What she's doing is putting it inside of the
Playing off
context of
Martin.
yeah, playing off of what she was doing.
Hmm. Playing off of that Martin star power.
Yes,
That's what she's
yes.
doing. Got the same the wording that you know how like Martin used to have those weird letters. It's damn Gina. So
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. I don't think she will do well. I think she's going to be coddled. I think she's going to be coddled and
Mm-hmm.
get a nice little cushy segment. and that is not comedy. That's not
Yeah.
somebody who went up through the ranks.
Hmm.
I think you can do it whatever you want in life. But it's a little too late to be trying to do that. That's just my opinion. You
Yeah.
know.
And what she's doing is she's already famous and then just parlaying her fame into something else that she might do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's already famous. People are going to go, oh, I want to see Tisha
They want to see
Campbell, and
Gina.
she's not going. Yeah,
They want
and
to see
she's
Gina,
not going
whatever
by
Gina is
herself.
doing. And they're gonna, her
Hmm.
audience, they're gonna laugh a little bit, but it's not. If she were not Gina, then nobody would even. She would probably get booed off stage if a no name came out and did
Yeah,
her act. They would be like, this ain't even funny.
yeah. Because unless she has some solid material, which I know she's
Which you know
not
she don't.
going to have,
Even if
you
she has
know,
solid material, she's not gonna know how to deliver it like a comedian.
no, no, it's very different from being on the set to where you can do several
Hmm.
takes and stuff. This is on the fly, which, I haven't seen her do that before.
Yeah,
So I,
yeah.
I don't want to see this. I mean, unless you say you want to go see just to see her bomb, I'm down for that. I'll go watch that. But I know how she is.
Well, I couldn't find no dates. They say the tour is still happening, but I couldn't find no. I couldn't find a website. I just see sporadic listings that already
Hmm.
happened.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Boom. I don't talk about stuff like this, but it just came on my feed. So our fearless leader, Donald J. Trump, is renaming the Kennedy Center to what is it, to the Trump Kennedy Center. Now, I really, I really don't care, but somebody brought it up to me, so that's why I wanted to shine some light on it. You know, I'm pretty sure you don't have any views on this, so we can just move past it if you don't.
about no, Donald Trump is a very funny human being to me.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was funny, just to want to put your name on something like that,
He wants his name on
just for
everything,
you,
everything that
just
involves him.
because
He
you
wants
can.
his name on that.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
very funny dude.
So this is the it that I was talking to you about, but this is
Mm.
back from the '80s. This was the or maybe early '90s. That's how the clown looked back in the day, bone chilling. I could think back in my childhood room. I had pictures of clowns in my room, and this freaking movie comes out, and now that's the recipe for madness because now I'm thinking about this freaking clown that kills children at night. You know, this was a great movie, by the way. Stephen King. Yeah, this was a great. He made. Are you familiar with Stephen King movies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this was a great film back in the day, and they kind of revamped it. Yeah.
When Ruthless came out, I would always say we got to see a glimpse of how dark Tyler Perry's mind is. We got to see a glimpse of how freaky this dude's brain is.
Hmm.
Stephen King is another example of like what lives in that man's brain. The fact the things that he's able to come up with and what things does he reject and just push that back down and just say that's too much. I can't I can't let that out of the box. I can't ask an
Hmm.
actor to do those things. You know that it has to happen. It happens with every creator where they say that's crossing a line. I'm just
Hmm.
curious if we were to ever see some of the things that crossed the line on Stephen King, we would probably want him institutionalized. And going back to Ruthless, with me saying we get a glimpse of how freaky Tyler Perry is, Ruthless is just I didn't ever thought about this until right now. Ruthless is just what he gave expression to. That same concept is still there. What did he hold back? What did he say? I can't do that. I can't go there. The creativity that this man came up with Ruthless is just beyond belief. I had no idea that these things were floating around in that man's head. And so, what else is in there? Oh, that's a scary
Hmm. All
thing.
right, boom. This is more like a scenario or what if. How would we feel about a series called Aaron, of course, in playoffs of Karen and Aaron? You know, airs on NBC. 8 o'clock Central NBC lineup. Just talk about Karen's new life, happy wife. What does that look like to you when you look at this clip airing on NBC, 8 o'clock lineup? What does this show look like to you? What would they talk about?
It would be like My Wife and Kids, a modern version of My Wife and Kids. Um, and Karen, they would have to remake her to be likable again because she's not likable in the current dispensation of Karen. But if she's gonna be the main character, she's got to be likable again. Um, is she going to be a housewife? Is she going to rebuild a business wherever they've moved to? Like, how is that going to work? Are the sisters ever going to come through? But they just got to be a happy couple that's funny because it's got to be a sitcom. It can't be, I guess it could be a
Right, that's what I'm
drama.
saying. How does it work? Yeah, I guess NBC. When I think of NBC, I always think about like old school sitcoms, but I guess they can be serious now. NBC does have
Yeah.
serious
Yeah,
shows.
they could be serious. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I just I didn't because I know I could have made it Peacock, but I made it NBC, so it's family friendly. Uh, do people watch this? No, probably not. I just thought it was interesting because there's so much of Aaron that we haven't seen. You know, is he that interesting to me? I don't know, but I
Well,
want to see more of his.
let's put it in the context of where it is. Are they interesting enough to have a spinoff in the Tyler Perry universe?
Uh, oh, I guess because I put it on NBC, so it's no longer in the Tyler Perry universe.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean,
I
could
mean,
they have
he's
it?
got stuff on TV. He got stuff on TBS.
Okay, but could okay. Well, still, could it work in the BET Plus world?
All right, so now we can get a little raunchy then. Yeah, if it's on BET Plus, we can get raunchy.
Would you
Yeah,
consider?
I just put
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just put NBC to make it more trickier and just because I think that's funny to put it on NBC. But yeah, if this was on BET Plus, I could see it working a little more. I could see visits from Pam, asking about the shop. I don't know what she would talk about. She would just be with her baby. I don't know. I don't know how that looks without drama, without
Would you
issues.
consider Zatima a successful show?
Of course, people love it. You know,
Yeah, and so I'm just wondering. You think it can hold its own like that?
no, because for some reason people love what is her name, Chrisette. Uh,
Oh yes. I don't know
people
that they
love
love her.
her.
I think they really love Fatima. Like, I don't. I would love to be wrong, but I can't see her have a long lasting acting career outside of Fatima. Do you?
No, um, that segues me to another question when it comes to the cast of sisters, the characters. Who do you think, starting from who has the most career growth and who has no, not even career growth, just growth period on the show? Who has the most growth?
I think it's only one person, and maybe you will talk me through this, but I think Zach is the only one who I can say that about. None of the sisters. I don't think any of the sisters.
Well, Andy made partner. What do you mean?
Oh, you're talking. Okay, I'm misunderstanding the question. You're talking about growth on the actual show, like the actual character growing
Yeah, well, it
in
is,
their role. I misunderstood the question.
yeah,
I thought you were talking about
acting
yeah,
wise.
yeah, like
No,
they blew up. Okay, so still Zach, it's still Zach for like totally different reasons. Zach and Andy.
Hmm.
And well, you can say Karen because Karen is doing things on a whole different level, with the
Hmm.
new shop and the
Hmm.
business and investing and so let's just put it in order.
Nice.
Let's put it in
So you
order.
got Zach.
Zach has the biggest come up because he's just
Hmm.
rich.
Yeah. Yep.
Andy's rich too, but Zach don't really have to work. Andy's an attorney rich. She's liable and her personality is the type where she's liable to get fired and not be able to get back into that.
Okay.
Um
Okay.
and then Karen, and I don't think that Sabrina has moved. I mean,
Well, Sabrina,
she's the
she
manager.
made branch manager.
She's the
She
branch
made
manager.
the branch man. I
So
mean,
yeah.
like I say, she became a branch manager. Okay.
All right.
Uh,
So there's a little bit
uh,
of move there. What
uh,
about Danny?
Danny. She did get fired. She was working on becoming like some kind of manager at the airport, but she made a come up. That's not career growth, but she came up on some money. You haven't seen some of the latest episodes, right?
I have not. I don't know what's going on, but you can
Uh,
tell me. I don't. I don't. I mean, I've gotten some spoilers.
yeah. So with Danny, the biggest spoiler I'm gonna give you is she has a plan with her, Maurice, and Pam to take over the shop. And uh,
Danny?
uh, yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, Danny's gonna. They pitched it to Danny. Uh, they had a sales pitch, and Pam was just like, yeah, she has roots to riches, but she likes to have multiple incomes, and they all decided to go in together to pitch the idea to Karen. Karen agreed. So I feel like I don't even know how it's gonna look. You see, Pam is being more integrated into the show
Yeah.
with those three. So it's very interesting. So she is making some moves. So I would put Danny next. All right. So that's leaving. You left your girl at the very end, Fatima, and that's kind of what I was thinking. But I didn't like to say it because people always say I'm hating. But you know, when it comes to Fatima, when you think about it, is she still in law school?
Yeah.
I don't
Fatima
know.
hasn't moved.
Is
She hasn't moved.
right. She hasn't moved. So when it comes to growth, I think she's lacking. That's
Yeah.
just my
She's the last.
opinion.
She hasn't moved. At least in Danny's
Hmm.
case, she came into some money. There's a question mark about how she came into it. Came into it. Um,
Hmm.
that is an interesting thing. I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up because the new season is starting in a month. So I gotta
Yeah,
binge. I gotta binge.
yeah, yeah. You got to binge so we can come back reviewing these episodes as they come.
Yeah. NBC again.
Boom. NBC again. So picture this show, this fictional show, and I would call it Hey Tima. The play off of Hayden and Fatima, Frenemies edition. What does this look like to you? If Hayden and
This
Fatima
actually looks like a real
buddy
NBC
buddy.
show. This thumbnail really does look like an NBC show for real.
Thank you. Hey Tima. It's called Hey Tima. What does Hey Tima look like to you? And it has to air. I'm not gonna put it on BET Plus because that'll be easy.
It has
So
to be a
think
comedy, a
about
sitcom. It's
if,
gotta
if
be a
it's
sitcom.
NBC, so you got to be you got to be real touchy on NBC and know the limits of NBC. What does that look like?
Yeah, it's
Hey
gotta be a
Tima.
sitcom where these two people are adversaries at work. Somebody told me, or did I read it someplace, that the two of them are getting along now. Is that accurate?
Not really. I mean, it was like an episode. If you see it, they're they are they are, but not they are.
They
Okay,
haven't
I
like
will say
made
that.
up though, or called a truce or anything like that.
No, but they are working together. That's why I came with that funny thumbnail called Hey Tima. So, and of course, Andy's jealous. You know.
So yeah, it's got to be just two people who have adversarial relationships at work. We don't see them outside of that. The most that we see them outside of the office is maybe if they went to, if they're at a coffee shop or if they're at lunch or something like that. But we don't go home ever. Everything happens in a half hour, and it's inside of that office, and they're just constantly trying to outdo one another, and it's just a comedy that it's a 30-minute show. Nothing else is going to be acceptable. We can't
All
get
right,
deep
Hey
at all.
Tima. Can't get deep.
No.
All right, all right,
How
all
you saying
right.
it?
So, could you make Hey Tima work? Could you make it work? Could you find a way to make it work?
I could executive produce it. I could direct that.
I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't even know. Do you do the old school when people when they walk in a room, people clapping and stuff? Do you- I don't know why my
I
mind
think
is
you
just
do.
set on old school sitcoms. I know they don't do that anymore, but I don't know.
Oh, they do.
Is it the studio audience or is this
Yes,
a studio audience?
they do the fake studio audiences, and they do the real studio audiences on these sitcoms too. But they have the fake studio audience on all of the Tyler Perry half hour comedies.
So would you do this in front of a live studio audience?
Yeah, I want it in front of a live studio, so I don't like the fake thing. That's crazy. Do you ever watch House of Pain or even that kid show? What's the name of that kid show that he does?
I don't.
Anyway, they yeah, they're doing it in front of a they're doing it in front of a I'm sorry, they're on a stage, but they got the laugh tracks and it's ridiculous. I mean, like there's
Mm.
no and they even like sometimes they applaud. It's ridiculous that they have these laugh tracks.
All right, all right. All right, so this was that revamped show I was telling you about. It's called well, it's but it's called Welcome to
Oh,
Derry.
this is
And it's
the
just
this
a
is the
prequel.
revamp version.
Yeah, and it's not really a revamp. It's just a prequel of how it all
Well, the
started.
modern.
And
This
it's
is the modern one.
yeah, the modern one is very eerie. It's very good. Very eerie. Gives you I don't even know how to describe it. Uh, I don't know. The kids are they people they get brutally murdered, so you can't be squeamish. It is very good. Yeah,
You know,
that's all I got to say about that.
speaking of prequels, did you know about? Because I didn't find out about it until after it had well been out. And did you watch the Dexter prequel where they went back to him being a teenager?
Oh, the wait, you mean is there a new one? You mean?
Well, it came out in 2025.
Oh, that was 2025. The one what was it called? I think I talked about it.
The one we talked about
I
was different. Hang on, let me look and see what it's called.
I definitely didn't like it. Michael CL has to be in it for me to like it. And I didn't like the goofy looks that they made him have. The actor, he just I don't know, it, the way he tried to convey the character was just so strange to me.
The one I'm
There's so
talking
many
about, they
versions
have
of
a
the
different
show.
actor named Dexter. Original Sin.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched it. So
Okay,
you never
okay.
watched that.
And so you're saying you didn't like that one?
I did not like it.
So that's interesting because I didn't
Ori-
hear anybody talk about Original Sin. Um, I loved it. Like, I haven't even seen it all, and I don't know why I haven't seen it all. But every episode I've seen, I
no,
absolutely loved it.
no. Mm-mm.
Now I
I need
tried to
Michael
watch
C.
the one
Hall
that
to
they put
be.
out before that, which I didn't like. But when I just typed this in, it seemed like there was another one that came out in 2025. AI is saying
Yeah, it's like
Dexter Resurrection.
yeah, they almost came out like back to back. Yeah,
See,
and that's what
this
Dexter's
they gotta
back.
stop. They gotta stop. They're ruining the brand.
Well, you like the original sin. That's ruining the brand of me. Shit.
Yeah, I know, but
But you
like
you you said
I'm saying even if
you're
I
saying
like
they
it,
should
even
you
if I
should
like one, they're just throwing too much out there and nothing sticking. Like even though I liked Original Sin and I liked every episode that I saw, it didn't get any buzz. Like I seem to be the only person that liked it, and nobody nobody's talking about it. They gotta stop. They just gotta stop. As much as I like that, they gotta stop.
so are you saying that the resurrection you have an issue with because Dexter shouldn't be alive again? Is that it?
No, I haven't even. I didn't know about it. I might watch it. I might actually like it. But even if I like it, they gotta stop because this makes like the fourth series that nobody has watched. You know what I'm saying? Like people aren't watching these things. And when you have a brand like Dexter that was such a staple, it was a classic, it was something that's on a whole different level. When you end it, just end it. Don't do all of these other things. Don't
Yeah,
keep
I
playing
agree.
around with it. Because these are whole series. These aren't like one offs. Can't keep playing around with it.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. Like, and we can talk because I know you are a huge Dexter fan, just like I am. Like, I had all the the DVDs, so I know about all of the old episodes from like 2008 and up. Um, I didn't like Original Sin. I I came, I viewed it with biased eyes. I can admit that. It threw me off because, of course, I want to see Michael C. Hall, but you can't see him because he's his character is young. So of course you won't see Michael C. Hall. So that's what threw me off about it. I didn't like how the character played him,
Hmm.
but that's just me being biased. He really didn't do anything wrong. I just didn't like his goofy, quirky personality. I didn't like Deb. I didn't like young Deb, but I have to remember that she was a little person, so she's making mistakes that older Deb didn't make, you know? So it was just hard for me to grasp originals. Yeah, it was hard for me to grasp it.
Yeah. Well, even with
That's
that
it.
being said, that's another show I got to get back and finish because lifed, and I didn't even finish that. I tend to watch that when I'm on vacation, just dropping an episode
Yeah,
here and
yeah,
there. But I haven't seen any of
yeah,
Original Sin that I didn't. I didn't. No episodes were dull for me.
yeah. I didn't like it. And keep in mind that they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it.
Well, that seems to be
I,
the common consensus. Either people they're not interested or they don't like it. I've not heard anybody say what I said that it's good. I'm not I haven't met one person say that it was good.
Now, Resurrection, you get some of the old school people. You get Bautista. You know what I mean? You getting some of the old flavor in there. I'm like, come on, let's go. So I was
Now,
kind of
how
digging
many episodes
Resurrection.
were in Resurrection, do you know?
I can't remember, but they changed the concept of the show so much. I mean, he's still a killer, but it's so cool now, because before Dexter, he was a part of Miami PD,
Mhm.
as a blood spatter analyst. Now he's a freaking driver. You know what I mean?
And this is
And
all did the in this version of it did the other stuff happen? Did he used to be a blood
yeah,
splatter?
yeah, yes, yes. Yeah. Now, I know you. It's a hard pill to swallow, but yes, and the way it picks up, um, Bautista is tracking Dexter down, and he's on Dexter with a vice grip, and it gets kind of tense. It's very good. I mean, it's very good. The new way Dexter has to navigate through this new place he's at, and he does it via being a rideshare driver, which is so cool. You know, um, it's not like I don't know. It's not like how he was on being on Miami PD, but I like how they did put the spin on it. I think it's very interesting. I think you would like it.
Yeah, I might. I'll check it out. Check it out. All
Yeah.
right, last one.
Y'all, I hate politics. Like despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side. So I think when you pick a side, you are only you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just gotta say, like, think about it. The wells are drying up, and then okay, now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people here tonight? And
Um, once again, I'm not a big person that follows stuff like this, but I'm just overall going to ask, like, how do you feel about a celebrity or just a singer, not even like an activist or anything, just a rich person who doesn't have to worry about money, they don't have to worry about everyday problems. How do you feel about a rich person spewing politics?
I actually have a unique take on that from what I'm hearing people saying, like everybody needs to just shut up, or everybody needs to shut up and sing, shut up and act, or either that, or you are only supposed to support the politician that is culturally popular. I feel like celebrities are people talk politics all the time. I'm not
Well,
necessarily huge in talking about it, but people talk politics all the time. And if you are passionate about something political, say it just like everybody else. But realize there's going to be some consequences, especially right now, because everything is polarized. Everybody is either on one side or the other, and the other
yeah,
side's stance is absolutely satanic, depending, for most people.
right.
There's hardly any balance there. But so feel free, say whatever you want. Just realize that you will lose half of the country's support if they supported you at all once you do it.
Yeah, yeah. It's best to stay neutral. I was just, if I was the a type of person that really cared about stuff like this, would you say it's a bit reckless for somebody that has a platform and you have ears and eyes watching you, you know, you have the type of people that will follow your lead blindly, you know, you do have those type of people that will follow your lead blindly without knowing the facts. Um, do you think it's just a bit reckless to say that bias doesn't exist, colorism doesn't exist? Because I think that's kind of what he was kind of saying, that certain things don't exist. Do you think that's kind of reckless to say that?
It might be, but whose responsibility is it? Like, is it is if I am the celebrity, is it my
Yeah.
responsibility to not to make sure that I don't say what I actually believe because people are going to hear me and not do their own research and figure out what they actually believe? The mere fact that we
That's
live in a
true.
society where so many people literally take their cues from other people because they're famous, that's part of the problem. And then we
Yeah.
give and throw on these famous people responsibility that they don't have the ability to carry that burden. Um, so maybe people need to screw up enough before they finally realize that celebrity endorsements mean nothing. In fact, we found that
Yeah.
out in this last election that all of the celebrities of note supported one person, and that person didn't win.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
maybe we're coming out of that. I don't mean to change your question around, but did you hear about Nicki Minaj today?
I saw clips. I didn't look at it, but I know she's in the headlines, but I don't know why.
Hey,
Uh,
do you mind if I play that clip for you?
Go for it.
Give me 1 second. I gotta pull it over. I did not have it queued up because I didn't even think that we would be talking about this. But hold on,
Okay.
get this over here. I gotta move it from one device to another.
That's fine. Take your time. Take your time. Is it cold where you at right now?
I don't really get cold, but I think it's in the 50s where I'm at. What's the
Okay,
temperature
that's
where you're
not
at?
too bad. 70s. 70s.
Right.
Always toasty.
All right. This is a different dimension size. Let's see whether or not this is gonna work. Yeah, it'll work.
That's
Here we go.
fine. That's fine.
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He he has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me. So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, you know, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it. But you do. And our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly. This administration is full of people with heart and soul. And they make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but there's.
So
Mm.
I don't know what the backlash of that's gonna be. I can't imagine a lot of people are. Let me just back up for a second, because I didn't plan on talking about this. I cannot imagine that a lot of the people who were in that room were Nicki Minaj fans to come into this. Like I just, this was at the
No.
Turning Point USA's national convention. I can't imagine that MAGA fans were just enthralled with Nicki Minaj to begin with. Now they're gonna look at this and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I judged her differently," or whatever. I don't think that's gonna make them pick her music. I don't think that's gonna make them buy her music. I
No,
don't think that's gonna make them
they
come to any
will.
of her
They
concerts.
will. They
Okay,
will. Her
all right. Well,
children. They,
she's gonna need that because she's going to piss enough people off on the other side that are gonna stop. And so going back to your original question, knowing that these things are the case, and Nicki Minaj is not an idiot. She understood what she was doing, and she understood the potential, and she understood the blowback. Should she have not spoken her truth? I say she should. Everybody should speak their truth, whether they are um, celebrities or not. And celebrities have more people looking at them. But instead of putting the onus on them to speak responsibly, we have to get to the point where we put it on the people who listen to listen responsibly and then make their decisions based off how they actually feel versus what a celebrity said.
yeah, I agree.
That's my take.
I agree.
But I'm very
Um,
curious about this. I mean, um, Chrisette Michelle has never recovered. She just never. I know that we're talking
but
about
then
two different levels of celebrity.
what? Did she like performed? She
She
performed for him
agreed.
somewhere.
She agreed to perform at Trump's
Yeah,
inauguration because, from her vantage
yeah.
point, I am a musician. I don't get involved in politics, and everybody should be able to hear my music. After the backlash, she said, "You know what? I'm sorry. I should never have said that. I should never have done that. I withdraw. I will not be performing." That didn't even matter. It was the damage was done already, and she's never recovered.
Yeah, I hear you. I
So
remember that. That's crazy.
I don't know what's going
That's
to happen here
crazy.
with Nikki. Nikki's a different level of celebrity, though. Nicki has a foundation, a base that even if they disagree with that, they're that foundation. What do they call the Nicki Minaj fans? What are they called?
Uh, I forgot.
Well, whatever they're called, I think most of them are not going to go anyplace, not long term. But I'm just looking to see what the fallout will be. We're not even 24 hours into this, so we'll see.
They call. I think it's Barb's.
Yeah,
Barb's.
The Barbs are
Um,
the loyal Barbs are probably not going anywhere.
but what I think is going to happen is like you said, people who didn't know who a Nicki Minaj was, I think there's going to be more deals that open up for her because when you're on the side of Trump, he provides opportunities to people that don't even deserve it. So I believe that if he says that, if he looks at that clip and goes, and look at Nicki Minaj, she's got an album that's gonna go triple platinum. Look how you know what I mean? I think it's gonna happen because he said so.
Yeah.
And I just think that's because I remember the same thing with Roseanne. I never knew Roseanne Barr was so political, but I remember, she backed the president, which is her right to. And I remember Donald Trump, he made a comment about, he said, hey, look at Roseanne, her ratings are phenomenal. And sure enough, the show, when she rebooted Roseanne, they kind of blew up until she like made some like racist ass comments, and that's what they they took her off the show. Even the show went on to continue without her though. So
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Well, that was it.
All right. I appreciate you showing out, and I appreciate everybody that watches this. And most of the time, we get most of our viewers for the rewatch, the replays.
Yes. Yep.
So I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and give us another shot because we'll be back on Sundays as usual, like we did before. Anything you got to say, Sir Darrell?
No, I think that's it. Happy holidays to you and everybody out there.
All right, later, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, let this shit run,
On who? On me. My affirmations over real. You the one. Ain't nobody with them. Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. I hype me up. I got 99 problems, but I got 100 reasons.